Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about my 3 years as a YouTuber, really, at the end of the day. I'm going to be showing you my analytics. It's about my 3-year anniversary from when I uploaded my very first Codecademy tutorial 3 years ago, and now 800 videos later, here we are 3 years later. So I'm going to show you where I was at year 1, where I was at year 2, and where I am at currently. That means views, AdSense money, total watch time, some analytics, where my audience is, all this sort of stuff. And I'll probably end the video talking a little bit about what it's like having a YouTube channel as a personal project, and what that has done for me in terms of my career, and why I think you should probably start one as well. Hey guys, before we dive into, creating a YouTube channel, I want to take a moment to thank our sponsor for the video, DevMountain. I've been partnered with DevMountain on and off for about 2 years. Back when I was towards the end of my first year, I reached out to them and I asked if they'd be willing to sponsor me. It almost doubled my income from the channel, which is really nice, and I appreciated they were willing to take a chance on me. And when I was in Salt Lake City, I went out and visited their campus in Provo, Utah, and I met him in person when I was meeting Engineer Truth as he was doing their boot camp. I have to say, I'm really proud to be partnered with them, and I hope that they continue doing great things, and thank you to them. And if you're interested in checking them out, learning more, you can at devmountain.com. All right, so what we're looking at here is a single 30-day period in 2016, and the same period, the same time period in 2017 and 2018, so that you can get an idea of just really, the slow grind of a channel. I've been working on YouTube for about 3 years, almost every single day. I have 700 or 800 videos, and I put a lot of time and effort into it, and sometimes people think it's sort of a get-rich-quick scheme, and it's really not. So what you're looking at here is a year ago where I was at, which was about 109,000 minutes watched. The average person was watching for just 2 minutes 46 seconds, and I was getting a little less than 40,000 views and $85 a month. That was where I was at, and I was gaining, and this was a large bump. It looked like in this month compared to the previous month, I gained 49% more subscribers because I got some sort of spike here. So I was probably gaining closer to 400, 500 a month. I think this one had just been a strange month. So if we went back one more month, we could see some numbers. You see the shares here. This is something I want to call attention to because shares help the channel out, any channel that you like so much. And then at this time, I was getting about 135 comments. In my first year, I was doing my best to respond to all of them, and for the most part, I did. I responded to every single comment, even so, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. 417 likes. Cool stuff. You can see at that time, my biggest videos. This was why I was doing the Codecademy tutorials. This was why I was started doing the free Codecamp tutorials. But you can see they're all the Codecademy tutorials, with the majority of my audience being from the U.S., 89% male, and you can see, where I'm getting, where my views are coming from: YouTube search, suggested videos, playlists, other. So that's year 1, right? Year 2, we had some growth, quite a bit, right? So, our watch time quadrupled, our view duration went up 40%, our views tripled, and our money went up significantly. So we're now making $350 a month on average, and subscribers went up for a decent amount. You can see I'm now gaining 1,350, and I was probably giving 400 or 500 on average. And these comments went up drastically. It's a little bit it's a little bit hard to say how many comments, and because this counts live stream comments. So if I did any live streams, I think at this time I was, it's starting. You can see that that number exploded. Likes went up to 21,000, but you can also see here, or 2,100, that shares 5-6 folded, which co-aligns with how many subs I'm getting and how many more views. So those shares going up, so the channel does better. That makes sense, right? You can see the videos that for the month have started to change, right? I'm doing interviews on the channel. Still some free code camp stuff. I did a 30-day, day 1 of 30 is what it should really be, where I was trying to teach April to learn to code. I started letting other people, give me tutorials to put on the channel, such as this Docker video, which is the best performing video on my channel, which is kind of upsetting to a degree. But you'll see not too much really has changed in terms of the demographics, right? You have the male, it's still 90% or roughly in the United States and UK, and YouTube search is actually resulting in less, but suggested videos are starting to go up in number. And I don't know if this is because, as you grow as the channel, you get more subscribers and you sort of start building this content sphere of what it is you're going to be talking about, and people now watch one video and you're more likely to watch another, and so they're more likely to suggest it in their algorithm. I'm not quite sure what that's about, but you can see that increased. Now, year 3, this is the current up to date. A year later, my watch time for a 30-day period is around 800,000 minutes watched a month, which seems like a whole lot of people watching a whole lot of stuff, so I appreciate that. My views is roughly about 160,000. My estimated revenue is around $900 a month, and my watch time is up to about 5 minutes. You can see I'm gaining around 2,000 subscribers a month, somewhere between 15 to 2,000. It fluctuates. Likes are up, comments still very high, dislikes always up, right? I do okay on dislikes. My opinions in the last, I've had more opinion-based videos in software, and people tend to be very strongly opinionated. So even when I take a very equal stance, people just don't like that you don't go and tell them that they're right all the time. Shares are up 600. That is a phenomenal number, and I hope it keeps growing, because I really do think shares are what makes a channel grow and explode. So thank you to that. If that's something that you do, I appreciate it. You can still see that the Learn Docker video that I didn't even do is my best performing video, at least for this month. But you can see I start doing more topics, orient videos, secrets to progress and success. But the live streams are something that you can see that a lot of people enjoy watching, which is one of the reasons I continue to do it. Pretty much every live stream I put up, people watch, and it's doing very well, even if it's not the best paying sort of content. I enjoy them. I'm going to continue to do them. So you can see nothing's really changed as far as the gender. United States suggested videos are up to 48%. So that's crazy to me, is that every year it's gone up. And I think it's, as more people watch your stuff, they're more likely to be suggested, which makes sense to me, right? So that's a little bit about the analytics. In terms of sponsorship opportunities and stuff like that when it comes to being a YouTuber, I don't really consider myself a YouTuber. I consider myself a developer that does YouTube. But in this context, we could talk about being a YouTuber. On average, in a month, I double my estimated ad revenue here, and I'm somewhere between $500 to $1,000 a month. And I do that in a variety of ways. I do shout outs on the channel. You've noted, if you've watched my videos, I try to have one sponsor a video. Keep it at 30 seconds. I think that's a reasonable amount of time to say, hey, let me just make some cheddar, make some bread, as Dolan says, right? and introduce you to something that you like. I think if you are interested in doing YouTube and you start taking on sponsorships, make sure it's relevant. That's all I would say, if that's a path you're going down. I also do outro sponsorships, and when I don't have a sponsor, I'm the sponsor, right? So you'll see in that 30-second spot of my video, it's just me doing a shout out to my course, to one of my courses or whatever it is that I'm working on. Also, being a YouTuber has opened quite a few doors professionally for me. I think it being is one of the most unique projects that a developer can have, to have a sort of a social media presence, a personal brand, and you can quite literally just see someone growing. If you watch the videos I had 3 years ago, what you're looking at is someone who is not ready to be a developer and grinding to get there. And nowadays, 3 years later, I'm in my second dev job and constantly grinding to get to even better. But you get to see the evolution there, and employers get to see that as well. And so I contribute my YouTube channel to be one of the major reasons that I was able to break into development. It gave me my very first job at a software company where I was able to, I was doing video editing and like doing technical documentation before I was a developer, but I was working at a software company. And and in the next job, one of the things that people said when they got me is like, yeah, you said that you had Angular experience. You sent us your portfolio, and we just watched a video of you doing Angular and said, that's the guy. My current job, they looked over my resume, looked over my GitHub, but the thing that really intrigued them about me was they went and they watched my videos of me building these projects out in the technologies that they were interested in, and said, this guy knows what he's talking about. He's going to come in here and kill it. And so it is a powerful tool in that aspect. Now, I will say that if you're considering starting a YouTube channel, you need to be able to walk a very fine line as someone who throws out things into the public space. It is very crucial for you that you don't, whatever you put out into the world, whoever, let's just say as an employer, you need to be comfortable to be able to watch it in front of your boss. That's really the standard you should hold yourself accountable to. And, sometimes you'll get that right. Sometimes you'll get it wrong. And when you get it way wrong, you need to take that video down. Remember that when you are putting stuff out there, because you are putting yourself out there. You are opening your world up and opening a little bit of yourself up. If yourself is ugly, no one's going to want to hire you, and not in a physical sense. If you're ugly on the inside and now you have video documentation of your ugliness, of your childness, of your immaturity, of your shallowness, whatever it may be, it's going to be hard for people to be interested in you. YouTube has also opened up various doors for me when it comes to being able to sort of become a person who wants to change software and wants to be part of it and wants to grow and mature. I think it's been the number one thing keeping me motivated to code every day. And it's fun and it changes things up from the daily while still staying focused and hardworking. It's another great reason to make a software YouTube channel. It's also opened doors for me professionally, not in like, hey, I got a job, but like, hey, here's some contract work, or hey, do you want to build a course on our platform for Scrimba, or hey, can we partner up? Those things happen all the time. I get emails from people saying, hey, would you interview us? Would you come on here? And there's a lot that I do take because they align, and there's a lot of people, all the sponsors that you see are software related and stuff like that, and people who share the same values that I do. But there's plenty of people out there that just want to, shill their useless stuff, and those are the ones you don't see. Because, it's okay to shill things that are good for the audience and people, but it's you don't want to be a shill of bad goods. So it's a little bit about YouTube, a little bit about what it's done for me. I have consistently been working. You can see right here, 811 videos. 811 videos. And by all accounts, the amount of effort and time I've put into it, I'm very proud of it, and I'm very, I've worked very hard to get to where I am right now when it comes to this. But some people would actually consider that a colossal failure, right? And you just have to keep moving forward. And the reason I say that is there's plenty of software channels that pop up, and 4 or 5 videos in, they're getting hundreds of thousands of views, and they're exploding, and their sub counts are in the 100,000, 200,000, and they're just doing great. And I got nothing but love for them. But the reason I bring that up is it's a slow grind for the majority of channels, right? It's a slow grind for people who are like, just chipping away at it, gaining 100 subs a month, 200, 500, 2,000. I gain 2,000 subs a month and it feels like I'm not growing at all, right? And there's other people who'd kill for that, right? So keep it in perspective, right? Not everyone's going to grow. When you look at, if your goal with YouTube is to grow as a developer and you're not in a rush, you will grow so much faster in terms of, you stop, like, don't look every day at your analytics and things like that. I guess what I'm trying to say is that everyone's channel grows at a different pace. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't try to learn from other channels or get better, but don't set unrealistic expectations for yourself and worry more about growing as a developer than growing as a YouTuber. And eventually your channel will grow and continue to, as long as you put hard work into it and you're consistent and all that sort of stuff. I would love if my channel quadrupled. I was gaining 10,000 subs a month. That'd be the goal, the dream. And I'd be happy with that. But then eventually there'd probably come a time where I wouldn't be happy with $1,000 a month, right? 5 years later, 3 years later, whatever it is. But set realistic goals for yourself, like everything. But that's just a little bit about the YouTube channel, my 2018 year 3, man. Can you believe it's been a year? I've been doing this for about a year. I'm putting up a video more than every other day on average, which is kind of crazy. Although I have slowed down to about 2 videos a week right now. It has been a journey. It has been one that I love and will continue to do. And I hope a lot of you, if you're interested in sort of putting yourself out there and on this medium, take advantage of. So with that being said, guys, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I'll let you a little bit in on the details of behind the scenes analytics. If you have any questions, please do leave them in the comment section below. And I'm making it a daily thing when I do these videos to answer a question from the comments at the end of my normal videos, so I can sort of spend 60 to 90 seconds on these things that maybe I can't make a video on, but at least I can answer a question that maybe other people have as well. So don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, share, support me on Patreon, check out my courses. The links are in the description below. See you next time. Bye. All right, so Caleb asks, what are some good ways to build your resume other than getting the basics from tutorial sites? I don't really know where to start and what to look at to start. So there's a couple of great projects that you can start out building when you're just getting up and going. The first thing I think you should build is a portfolio site. It's something that every developer is going to need, some form of a portfolio site. And in my case, when I was just getting going, that was where I started. I built all those basic projects for Free Code Camp, and then I was like, okay, let me build something that I'm going to use in a framework that is relevant. At that time, it was AngularJS, and so I built my web page here, my YouTube channel page, and I connected all my social media accounts. This is all in AngularJS, very first thing I built. I connected the YouTube API, so my latest video is here. I connected some stuff to some money items, and more YouTube API, and I built out some other pages. So when you're getting started, a basic project you can get up and going with, and this doesn't mean that you can't rebuild it. You're like, oh, well, it's my first project. I want my portfolio site to be perfect. Get rid of that perfect mindset. There's no such thing as a perfect project. So, start with the portfolio site, integrate some sort of APIs. You need to get really comfortable with APIs as a developer, and find an API you're interested in. There's a ton of open source ones. I happen to do YouTube, but you could do the cryptocurrency one. You could do the Pokemon one, whatever it is. So portfolio site and an API project would be a great starter project for you. Hey guys, thanks for watching my video. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell, and check out my JavaScript course. There's a link in the description where you can get discounts on all my courses. See you next time.